Welcome to the only daily podcast focusing on compliance news of the day. Each morning, start your day with a cup of coffee and Tom Fox, the voice of compliance, to hear about 4 of the top compliance, corruption, or leadership stories you will need to start your day. The Daily Compliance News is a production of the Compliance Podcast Network.
First, a word from our sponsor, Ethico.
Handling multiple compliance cases can often feel like navigating a complex labyrinth. Ethico introduces simplicity and intelligence into this chaos with our custom workflow automation. By automatically routing cases based on your unique criteria, we turn the maze into a clear path forward. Envision a compliance process that's not just effective, but also intuitive and adaptable to your needs. It's time to redefine efficiency in your workplace. Embark on this journey of transformation at ethico.com/CPN. Book a demo and explore the white paper by Tom Fox, 2023, The Year in Compliance, to discover a world of seamless compliance management.
The Daily Compliance News for February 8, 2024, the I Love Candy edition. For those of you old enough to remember that song, it's certainly applicable to today's news as Patricia Hurtado and Maria Clara Cobo, reporting in Bloomberg, reported on the ongoing trial of the Vitol Group trader, where a former Pemex executive testified he agreed to accept $300,000 from the Vitol Group in exchange for helping the trading house win a deal with the Mexican state-owned oil company, Pemex. He told the court that he accepted bribes from Javier Aguilar, or what he called candies. So he loved candy. Add that to your list of words for bribery and corruption. Next up, from the Financial Times, McKinsey and BCG said in front of Congress that they would not turn over documents about their work in Saudi Arabia because employees would face jail in Saudi Arabia if the firms handed over details of their work for the country's sovereign wealth fund without approval from the kingdom. A Senate committee is investigating how Saudi soft power, such as sports investments, is extending its influence in the United States, and lawmakers assailed the consulting groups for their work. So, sounds like the big boys are going to get between Saudi and Congress. Next up, from the New York Times, for the first time in more than 2 decades, the U.S. is buying more from Mexico than it is from China. This is certainly a welcome trade development, although, of course, the Republicans and Donald Trump are such racists that they probably believe this is also a conspiracy to import more from Mexico, so more people will come across the border. But I would ask you to think about it from the compliance perspective. What does this mean for your company? Is Mexico high risk for you? And if so, what are you doing to assess that risk and manage it? And finally, also from the New York Times, a $2 billion corruption case was unsealed involving the New York Public Housing Authority, with 70 employees charged with bribery and corruption. So big time corruption in the Big Apple with a big enforcement response. So we'll have to see how this plays out and what it all means for the New York City Public Housing Authority going forward. In the month of February, the Compliance Podcast Network is sponsored by Ethico. Are you struggling to close cases? Well, Ethico is here for you. Take advantage of their innovative approach to empathetic issue intake, streamlined case management, and enterprise-wide disclosures. Learn more about how you can crowdsource risk management at scale at ethico.com/CPN. The Daily Compliance News is a production of the Compliance Podcast Network and a proud member of C-Suite Radio. Thanks so much for listening. I hope you'll join me again tomorrow.